Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, women charged for stabbing man during dispute in Spanish Town. Two women accused of attacking and stabbing a man during a dispute in Riverside Park, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Wednesday, May 29, have been charged. The women, 62-year-old Juliet Georgia McKay Ferron, a higgler, and 38-year-old Rochelle Michelle Ferron, otherwise called Rushy, a customer service representative, have been charged with wounding with intent. Reports are that about 10 a.m., both women and a man were having a dispute when they held him down and inflicted several stab wounds with a knife. The man was assisted to the hospital, where he was admitted in serious condition. The women were arrested and subsequently charged on Thursday, June 13, after a question and answer session. Probes launched into death of detainee in Trelawney lockup. The police and the Independent Commission of Investigations are investigating the death of a detainee in a lockup in Trelawney on Thursday. The deceased has been identified as Wayne Mott, 52, from Hague in Trelawney. He was reportedly found unresponsive in his cell at the Falmouth Police lockup around 11 a.m. He was rushed to the Falmouth Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Mott was in custody on a charge of assault occasioning bodily harm. Mother upset over alleged police beating of son at a Mandeville lockup. A mother is distraught after her son was allegedly beaten up by the police at the Mandeville lockup in Manchester on Thursday. Head of the Manchester Police, Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, said the matter is being investigated. "What I know is that there was an incident on the third block where police were also injured," he told the news. Dave Lewin, Director of Complaints for the Independent Commission of Investigations Central Region, said the oversight body has not received a report on the incident. Heather Wilson said her 28-year-old son Orlando Lee, who is charged with shooting, was remanded after attending court in Mandeville. According to Wilson, the information she received is that the police officer who allegedly physically assaulted her son had been making threats to him. She said she was told he wanted to pee, but they would not let him out. So another person was giving him a bottle to use from another cell, and that was when the police officer came to his cell and tell him to come out. She said her son has received injuries to one of his eyes and his right hand. "I think his left hand is in a sling," she said. She said the incident has left her traumatized. "I am feeling awful. I did not sleep last night. From morning I don't eat," she said. Wilson said Lee, the older of her two children, has been in remand for 2 years at a facility in St. Catherine. She said he was transferred there because of the alleged discrimination he was facing in the Mandeville police lockup. 3 women injured in drive-by shooting ahead of peace march. 3 women, 2 of them sisters, were shot and injured in a drive-by attack on Thursday evening in Rose Gardens, Central Kingston, threatening to reverse the peace that residents of this volatile and gang-ridden community have worked to maintain since January. The violent attack came 2 days ahead of a peace walk organized for the community, popularly referred to as Spoilers, by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, Kingston Central Police, Yard Empire, and the international non-governmental organization Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light. Head of the Kingston Central Police, Superintendent Beresford Williams, said he does not foresee Thursday's shooting disrupting the peace that has existed in the community since the start of the year. There was a shooting incident. A car drove into the area and the men opened fire, and the 3 women were shot and injured. "We can't make predictions, but we are going to ensure that the peace we were enjoying in the space continues. This is the first incident since the 1st or 2nd of January, and it was a vehicle that came into the area and impacted the space. The citizens want peace, and together with the police, they are working," Williams said. Saturday, we are supposed to be having a big peace march in the space led by UNESCO and some other stakeholders alongside the police. We will impact the space with a major march starting at 3 p.m., Williams added. Since January, men who were at violent odds with each other began to use the lull in violence to make amends and even staged regular friendly football games as well as a peace dance. On Thursday, the 3 women were shot at a premises in close proximity to the intersection of James and the Charles Streets. The incident occurred at approximately 8:30 p.m. Despite the Superintendent Williams' optimism that the shooting will not disrupt the peace, some residents are on edge. A whole heap of shot fire. Just the other day we had a peace dance. This have the potential to mess up everything. The man them in the place were saying they are serious about peace. Right now, nobody knows where that shooting is stemming from. All I know is pure positive things been happening from the other day. So we just have to keep looking out. But at the same time, I would rather certain things don't happen, one resident told the news on Friday. His neighbor agreed, saying that he was hoping for the best, as these kinds of events usually unsettle things in any community. I'm just praying for things to go back on the smooth path, because trust me, we have been enjoying the peace, big people, children, everybody, he said. Between January 1 and June 9, the Kingston Central Police Division recorded 14 murders, one less than the same period last year. As it relates to shootings, the division recorded 12 over the same period compared to 25 for the same period last year. Father and the son among 5 killed within 18 hours. 5 people, including a father, his son, and a casket maker, were shot dead and another person injured in Hanover during 3 attacks within a bloody 18 hours. The first shooting took place about 2:30 a.m. on Thursday and the last one about 9 p.m. National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang has linked the attacks to community-based conflict involving some players who cops previously had in custody but had to release because the residents were reluctant to provide the information needed to get convictions in the courts. There seems to be some conflict between small families and the districts in the Lucy area, and we have to increase our activity. I leave that operational response to the police, the minister told the news. It is fortunate that the players are known. Some of them were in lockups, but in our context, we have to release them until we can get a conviction, added Dr. Chang. He was speaking with the news in the Lucy Transportation Center following a visit to the facility and the Johnsontown community on Friday. He had traveled to Johnsontown to comfort Marlene Nation, whose son and grandson, 41-year-old Merrick Calvin, and his 23-year-old son, Merrick Calvin Jr., were gunned down alongside Jew Hill resident Michael Collins. According to police reports, the men were at an under-construction bar in Johnsontown around 9 p.m. when they were approached by 2 armed men in darker clothing who had traveled to the location on a motorcycle. The Calvins and the Collins were shot in their upper body. Another person was left nursing gunshot wounds. Hours earlier, shortly after 1 p.m., 43-year-old casket maker Robert Williams from Hardin Hall was killed in his business place. The police said he was approached by a man with a gun who opened a fire, hitting the businessman in the upper body before escaping. Williams reportedly died on the spot. By then, the day had already got off to a bloody beginning, with a 35-year-old Teron Copperhart from Lances Bay fatally shot about 2:30 a.m. The police have indicated that Hart was shot at a bar in the Lucy Bus Park. He had driven his silver Axio motorcar to the location. On Friday, the security minister, accompanied by a member of parliament for Hanover Western, Tamika Davis, and the recently assigned officer in charge of the Hanover Police Division, Deputy Superintendent Andrew Nish, and his team sought to assure the residents of the usually quiet Lucy that efforts were being made to stop the bloodletting. I came to reassure the community of our commitment to give the police full support to operate and to take necessary steps to stem the tide of violence that emerged in the town, Dr. Chang told the news. He appealed to residents, as he has often done in the past, to tell the police what they know so the perpetrators can be apprehended and successfully convicted in the courts. I am going to repeat to citizens to use the confidential lines and inform the police of what's happening, stated Chang. Allow the police to apprehend and to prosecute and avoid a retaliation, he appealed. Since the start of the year, Hanover has recorded 28 murders in comparison to 31 for the corresponding period last year. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.